Did you ever dream of saving the world with a flute? No? Well, welcome to Illusion of Gaia. Our tale begins with a lad named Will, an unassuming hero with an unlikely weapon of choice. Forget about swords, shields, or even magical spells. Will, my friends, wields a flute. Yes, you heard it right, a flute. Now you might be thinking, how can one possibly fend off evil with a musical instrument? Well, in the fantastical world of Illusion of Gaia, it's not just about physical strength or brute force. It's about the power of music, the rhythm of battle, and the melody of victory. In this action-packed RPG, our harmonious hero Will embarks on a quest to save the world. But he doesn't do it with a clang of steel or a blast of magic. Instead, he does it with the sweet, sweet sound of his flute. Picture this: Will standing alone on a battlefield, surrounded by menacing foes. Does he panic? Does he run? Not our Will. He pulls out his flute and begins to play. As the first notes waft through the air, something magical happens. His enemies, entranced by the melody, forget their evil intentions and start dancing. Who knew that a flute could be so mighty? But it's not all smooth sailing. There are puzzles to solve and obstacles to overcome. And through it all, Will has to keep playing his flute. It's a symphony of adventure, a ballad of bravery, and a concerto of courage. And let's not forget the comedy. There are moments when you can't help but chuckle as you watch Will serenade a monstrous beast into submission or charm, a locked door into opening. In Illusion of Gaia, every tune is a battle cry, every note is a step towards victory, and every melody is a testament to Will's bravery. It's a game that defies conventions and embraces the absurd, all while delivering a captivating and engaging experience. Now armed with his trusty flute, Will is set to save the world, one tune at a time. So, how does one fight with a flute, you ask? Well, let me enlighten you. In the fantastical world of Illusion of Gaia, you don't just play a melody with your flute, you dish out a symphony of pain. Our hero, Will, is not your typical brawny knight or magic-wielding wizard. No, he's a tender-hearted flute player. But don't let his humble beginnings fool you. This game doesn't shy away from the unconventional. While most RPGs have you collecting an arsenal of weapons, Illusion of Gaia takes a different route. Here, your primary weapon is your trusty flute. Yes, you heard it right, a flute! But this isn't any old wind instrument. This flute packs a punch that can topple foes and solve intricate puzzles. But the wackiness doesn't stop there. The game introduces a unique transformation mechanic. Throughout his journey, Will gains the ability to transform into powerful beings. Friedan, a dark knight, and Shadow, a liquid being. Imagine this: one moment you're a flute-playing kid, and the next you're a towering knight wielding a shadowy sword of doom. Friedan's long-reaching attack and ability to fire off energy blasts can decimate enemies, making you feel like an unstoppable force. And then there's Shadow, a being as mysterious as his name suggests. This character can melt into the floor and pass through gratis. Talk about a sneaky move. It's like the game took a page out of a comic book and decided to give you superpowers. Combine these transformations with the intriguing puzzles scattered throughout the game, and you've got a gameplay experience that's anything but ordinary. It's a blend of action, adventure, and puzzle solving that keeps you on your toes. And let's not forget the stat-boosting red jewels, which are hidden throughout the game. Collecting them is like a metagame within the game itself, adding another layer of fun to the overall experience. And that, folks, is how you turn a peaceful flute player into a world-saving powerhouse. Now, let's take a quick detour down memory lane. As we stroll through the annals of retro gaming history, the Illusion of Gaia juts out like a sore thumb, or perhaps a thumb that's been overworked from hours of non-stop button mashing, if you will. This game, with its unique blend of action, puzzles, and adventure, made a significant impact in the gaming world, and particularly in the action RPG genre. Picture this: the 1990s, the golden age of pixelated adventures, and smack in the middle of it, Illusion of Gaia emerges, carving out its own niche. It was a time when gaming was not just about shooting aliens or racing cars. It was about stories, exploration, and of course saving the world from impending doom, a task that our hero, Will, took on with gusto. Now, if we could, let's imagine we're conducting interviews with the pixelated characters from the game. They'd probably have a thing or two to say about their experiences. First up, we have the hero himself, Will. He'd probably chuckle and say, "Who knew that a simple flute player like me would end up saving the world, eh?" I guess it just goes to show you never know what you're capable of until you're thrown into a dungeon full of monsters. And then there's Kara, the runaway princess. We imagine she'd roll her eyes and remark, "Running away from home seemed like such a good idea at the time. But then I ended up in a haunted ship and a floating city. Not exactly what I had in mind." And let's not forget our villains. The Comet, for instance, might grumble, "I was just minding my own business in space." And then this kid comes along with his flute and ruins everything. These exaggerated, humorous insights give us a glimpse into the charm and appeal of Illusion of Gaia. It was a game that dared to be different, challenging players with its unique gameplay and engaging story. So, as you can see, Illusion of Gaia has left an indelible mark in the pixelated hearts of our interviewees. Now, let's hear a little tale from my own experience with Illusion of Gaia. Picture this. I'm a young lad, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, controller clenched in my sweaty palms. I've just cracked open a brand new copy of Illusion of Gaia. The cartridge smells like that fresh plastic scent that all of us retro gamers know and love. I'm ready for an epic adventure. Now, I've always been a sucker for a good flute tune, so when I heard that the main character, Will, was a bona fide flute player, I was all in. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a flute-wielding hero, right? Little did I know, this game would take my flute infatuation to a whole new level. As I navigate through the beautifully pixelated world of Gaia, I find myself in a curious situation. I'm lost in a labyrinthine dungeon, and the only way out is to solve a complex melody puzzle. Suddenly, it's not just about swinging a sword or leaping over bottomless pits. No, it's about the power of music, the power of the flute. I spend hours, days even, trying to crack this tune. I'm humming it in the shower, whistling it on my way to school, even attempting to play it on my own. Very real flute. My parents are worried. My friends think I've lost it. Even my dog looks at me with a mix of pity and concern. But I can't give up. I must master the flute. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, I do it. I crack the melody. The dungeon door swings open. The triumphant theme music swells. And I stand victorious, flute held high. From that day forward, I've had a newfound respect for the humble flute and its heroic potential. So, next time you see me, don't be surprised if I whip out a flute and start playing a tune. It's not just a musical instrument, it's a symbol of victory, of perseverance, a testament to my journey through the illusion of Gaia. And that, my friends, is why I never leave home without a flute. So, why should you play Illusion of Gaia today, you may ask? Let me tell you, this game is like a finely aged cheese. It only gets better with time. It's a treasure trove of retro charm, sprinkled with a generous dash of quirkiness, and served on a platter of pure nostalgia. Remember the unforgettable characters? Who can forget Will, the brave lad with a flute, who could transform into a knight or a shadow figure, each with their unique abilities? And how about Kara, the rebellious princess with a taste for adventure and an appetite for mystery meat? These characters are not just pixelated game characters. They are the heart and soul of the game, etching themselves into your memory with their charm and eccentricities. Then we have the quirky gameplay mechanics. The joy of solving puzzles by transforming into different characters. It added a layer of complexity and intrigue, making the game more than just an action RPG. The game was like a Rubik's Cube, twist and turn, and voila, you have a solution. And the boss battles. They were not just about mindlessly hacking and slashing. You had to strategize, plan your moves, and sometimes even take a leap of faith. But what truly sets Illusion of Gaia apart is its nostalgic appeal. This game is a time machine that takes you back to the golden era of gaming. Playing it feels like flipping through an old photo album, bringing back memories of a simpler time when all you needed was a console, a controller, and an insatiable thirst for adventure. So, in a world filled with high-definition graphics and complex game mechanics, why should you play a retro game like Illusion of Gaia? Well, it's like asking why you should listen to Beethoven's Symphony when there's techno music. Some things are just timeless. They have a charm that transcends time and technology, touching your heart in a way that the latest and greatest can't. So, if you're looking for an adventure where you can save the world with a symphony, Illusion of Gaia is the game for you. So dust off your CNEs, grab that controller, and let the symphony begin.